Hello, hello. It is December 22nd, 2025, and it is 12:30 a.m. So I actually did a reading I want to say 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago maybe, and I thought I would push myself and do another one before I went to bed. Um, Plus the office light was on, so I figured I would come in here and it's just the Bible was calling me. I had to read. So before I begin with Genesis chapter 32, which is Jacob prepares to meet Esau, I'm not sure if you can see this, but in my Bible, it has a cool image of this is a recreation of an Egyptian painting depicting messianic travelers in the bottom here. And it's from around 1900 BC, the same time that Jacob would have been traveling with his family. So it's interesting to think that this could be a possible depiction of Jacob and his family traveling, according to the Egyptians. And if I'm correct, that his son Joseph will one day be the Pharaoh of Egypt. Actually, maybe Joseph had that commissioned to preserve his family heritage. Just a theory, absolutely no evidence behind this, but cool to think about nonetheless. So let's get into Genesis chapter 32. Jacob prepares to meet Esau. Jacob also went on his way, and the angels of God met him. When Jacob saw them, he said, "This is the camp of God." So he named that place Mahanaim. Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to his brother Esau in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. He instructed them, "This is what you are to say to my lord Esau. Your servant Jacob says, I have been staying with Laban and have remained there till now. I have cattle and donkeys, sheep and goats, male and female servants. Now I am sending this message to my lord, that I may find favor in your eyes." When the messengers returned to Jacob, they said, "We went to your brother Esau, and now he is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him." In great fear and distress, Jacob divided the people who were with him into two groups, and the flocks and herds and camels as well. He thought, if Esau comes and attacks one group, the group that is left may escape. Then Jacob prayed, "O God of my father Abraham, God of my father Isaac, Lord, you who said to me, 'Go back to your country and your relatives, and I will make you prosper,' am I unworthy of all the kindness and faithfulness you have shown your servant? I had only my staff when I crossed this Jordan, but now I have become two camps. Save me, I pray, from the hand of my brother Esau, for I am afraid he will come and attack me, and also the mothers with their children. But you have said, I will surely make you prosper, and will make your descendants like the sea, like the sand of the sea, which cannot be counted." He spent the night there, and from what he had with him, he selected a gift for his brother Esau: 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes, and 20 rams, 30 female camels with their young, 40 cows and 10 bulls, and 20 female donkeys and 10 male donkeys. He put them in the care of his servants, each herd by itself, and said to his servants, "Go ahead of me, and keep some space between the herds." He instructed the one in the lead. "When my brother Esau meets you and asks, 'Who do you belong to, and where are you going, and who owns all these animals in front of you?' then you are to say, 'They belong to your servant Jacob. They are a gift sent to my lord Esau, and he is coming behind us.'" He also instructed the second, the third, and all the others who followed the herds. "You are to say the same thing to Esau when you meet him, and be sure to say, 'Your servant Jacob is coming behind us.' For he thought, 'I will pacify him with these gifts I am sending on ahead later. When I see him, perhaps he will receive me.' So Jacob's gifts went on ahead of him, but he himself spent the night in the camp. Jacob wrestles with God. That night Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. After he had sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked him, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he answered. Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." Jacob said, "Please tell me your name." But he replied, "Why do you ask my name?" Then he blessed him there. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "It is because I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared." The sun rose above him as he passed Peniel, and he was limping because of his hip. Therefore to this day, the Israelites do not eat the tendon attached to the socket of the hip, because the socket of Jacob's hip was touched near the tendon. Wow, what a interesting chapter. First of all, my prediction is that I don't think Esau is necessarily going to try and kill Jacob. Maybe, or at least the gifts will succeed in pacifying him so that they can make amends with one another. I also think it's so interesting how Jacob may have literally wrestled with God in human form. That's interesting because other than Jesus, I was not aware that God had taken any human form in the Bible. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, I could be, but it sounds like Jacob did not know that it was God who he was wrestling with until after the full extent of their interaction. Very interesting. Okay, so next chapter is Jacob meets Esau. That's a good one to kind of end the day, and I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow with that. Also, it's a kind of a short chapter, so maybe I can do 34 as well. All right, going to close the book for the night, and this time actually go to bed. Maybe I can give you some insight into some stuff I'm working on right now. So the last episode I talked about poetry. I'm working on a poem called The Blue Market, and it's actually inspired by a cover art for some ambient music I listen to on YouTube. And it's basically this neon blue supermarket that is glowing faintly in this dark background. And I don't know why, but it evokes feelings of sadness, but also nostalgia and safety, some sense of primal hope. I don't know why. Maybe I'll include that image in the description of this video, or I'll leave a link to that video in the bio. But yeah, so that's kind of what this poem I'm working on is going to be based around. I'm going to try and evict some of the feeling I had when I first listened to that ambient music and saw the background art in that poem. And it's going to be, again, called The Blue Market. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope everyone is having a blessed day. If it's daytime, the camera is just dying, so it's also a sign to end the video. And if it's evening, I hope you have a very blessed night. So, thank you. Have a good one.